This is Galactic Grandmother April. I am at the Chocolate Tree in Sedona, Arizona. I'm here with my dear friend Turiya Summer, and she's got an exciting new project that I'm going to ask her a few questions about. So let me just turn this around. Hi Turiya.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Great. Happy to be here.
Now, I first met you years ago in Sedona here, and since then you have moved and you've done what so many people dream of doing. You've bought 5 acres outside of Flagstaff, and can you just tell us about that property and your goals? It seems to be so many people would like to do what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm very, very honored to be here, and thank you for your interest. So the property itself was neglected, but it was a former organic farm, and it has a beautiful pine forest bordering the national forest. We have a cistern. We have old apple trees and olive trees and other things that we're having to rejuvenate, bring back to life. We're having to build soil. We're in the very beginning stages of bringing the property back to life, bringing the trees, healing the land, healing the house that also needs a lot of work. So we're bringing everything into the present, making it beautiful and harmonious, and also having us lots of wonderful people engaged in building a food forest, and with plans for over time opening up and being able to share more with the community, great events and education, and etc.
And your whole philosophy, which goes along with the new paradigm of growing our own food and producing quality, high vibrational food for our bodies. Can you talk about that?
Well, I was a vegan raw foodist for almost 20 years. I just recently, the past 2 years, started eating eggs and beef products. So I'm a vegan now. But I really absolutely love fresh, live, living foods, and being able to grow and build your soil so it's nutrient dense, because we all know the soils these days are more depleted. Is so enlivening. It's so important, and developing a relationship with the land and your food systems and your own freedom and sovereignty through doing that is really, really exciting. And just to play in the earth, even if you have a little tiny square of earth, or on your apartment. Whatever you do, container gardenings, community gardens, whatever you can do to engage with living foods and growing your food and developing deep, nourishing nutrition and connections with the earth is so exciting. Already we're attracting more and more pollinators. We have some native plants coming back, like wild roses. Ladybugs everywhere that we didn't have just last year, and some of the soil is almost like sand. So we're working with that to nourish it and help it become rich, and develop. Of course, we're using principles of permaculture. Not really biodynamics at this point, but definitely regenerative farming and gardening, and very small scale. It's good to start with your zone 1, your immediate area, and build from there.
And could you just state a little bit about what's happening with the mass production of food that's being offered nowadays, and how perhaps we can, if you live somewhere where it's difficult to get high quality food, what would you say for someone to do if they're in that position?
Well, anytime you can gather with community or connect with others who maybe already have land is wonderful. You can support each other and share work and produce, etc. That's always a great thing. There's so many different options for gardening, even in like small spaces. You could do the vertical growing, the different systems, all throughout the winter. There's just, and even just doing like one plant, one edible plant, and building from there makes a difference, because the vibrancy of the food and the information and the codes that you bring in when you bring in this beautiful, vibrant, living energy wakes you up. Oh, I want to also mention too, wild foods. If you can harvest wild foods, we have a lot of lamb squirters right now have been making pestos. That's like a wild spinach, sorrel, different things that you can go out into the forest and forage. Of course, have strong identification guidance and books or people or experts to help you. But that is very incredible, rich, nutrient-dense food that has the codes and genetics that is very strengthening to our systems, whereas industrialized agriculture tends to strip the soils, deplete the soils, monocultures. It doesn't have that richness that we need to build our own strength and vibrancy and energy, vitality. And when we reconnect with doing that and creating that, we become more free. We become more vibrant, more happy, more engaged, more alive, and it awakens up more of our infinite potential that we have.
Now, you are welcoming apprentices that will come onto the land and learn about what you're doing, organic gardening and rehabilitating the land, healing the land, a whole number of experiences. How can people, if they're interested in learning about this and coming onto the land and maybe doing some apprenticeship, how can they connect with you?
That's a great question. So we are in the process of putting together a website, but at the moment I do have a Facebook page, Om Evolutions, that we could use. I haven't posted on it yet, but we can start sharing this and other content there, and people could always contact me, Turiya Summer, through Om Evolutions, and that's spelled O-M, Evolution with an S.
On Facebook?
Yeah, we can start there,
perfect.
and then hopefully within the next few months we'll have more systems in place. We've really been focusing on the housing, getting everything up to speed, and that is still in process. And also, as we said, healing the land, beautifying, and
water systems, and so
all
forth.
of that. Yeah.
Awesome. Let me turn it around so that I can. Sorry about that. I'm new at this. Okay. I'll get over here next to Turiya. Thank you so much for your time, Turiya. It's just been beautiful to be able to see you and share your project with the public. I think it's so important that we're thinking about our food and the land and growing our own food. So love to you and love to our audience. Thank you. Bye.